mỗi giờ cây trồng để có cái chuyện thì mua làm nông để là mua công mua bằng đồ lại thiên là bỏ bùa lớn còn lại tua hay tôi cho lũ sông lũ cỏ là tua cho đó cho bạn cho chơi cho hú để cho nó bỏ nó bùa nữa để hay là lũ chơi lũ nhung đó cho lũ chơi lũ nhung là giờ cho lũ xưa là trộn là cho là giờ cái cho khó chịu sinh để cho community của các tổ ba là để nuôi là tổ honest go để lũ chơi nhung là giờ lũ chơi nhung cho trộn lại nữa. Ok, chỉ muốn nói ya, lúc chơi lúc nhung là cho là thiên, chỉ giờ chỉ bu lúc xưa là xẻ, bây giờ li nó, tụi thầy sợ chua, thọ, tụi cho cái này cái trà, tụi cho mình tụi mình nhọ, cho nên tụi nhau hồ nọ, giờ bây giờ cho nên thứ là hài lộ lộc, lúc này ya, lúc này plan định thua, chỉ xa cái này sao đâu, cái xong bộ tiền nó này ok, bây giờ là rau, bây nông, sẽ bây xong bộ tiền vì nó chuyện nó vô tệ nó là những cái tu sửa thì giờ nó biết sao cả sự là xong vô tệ để bên lòng tôi cho cái speaker là hay rồi bù được bên thế sao sẽ được tung ra nè thì giờ nó thời gian này thiên cho welcome bên tu MC giờ là cho họ phong nó thọ pin nó một cái cho nó tổ sầu cho cái speaker sự là thì giờ nó bên thọ honor thiên của châu daughter nó chơi vậy là tôi cho tôi MC là cho guest là speech của đội bên tiến tới là tuôn ra để thọ chơi có nó tới nó chơi và
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. Before we begin, can I have all you guys rise? Take a moment of prayer, our day to remember our Tou Ger. You may be seated. 我知道那家那家子弹车追着朋友。让下美国都讲被女罗哈，被这些就估计么到讲到一样，但是让下更高的女罗也他修罗，被到么一家个也多哈路车，被都讲都就当车着被这小就罗哈，也让到我们讲那，我在这边呢，古鲁被胡那着，我也一直讲到就来这个可能哈，我也古也在大家你也古也一度也一直古哈。Tou Ger ta chỉ mong người ta cho biết what là gì để chạy lột lò để chạy giao trang cụ ha ta chỉ mai rong gọi bây giờ bé cho cái bên trên cái hạt ta rong gọi là cái chạy lên nhau vào chuyện tu chắc là hồn nên gì mà chẳng mà vào một chuyện là und bây giờ bên nó just couple announcement hát cho thằng cho biết chuyện sao tu I know that we have a lot of people that are streaming online as well. And we have people that are sitting on the other side as well too. So we want to thank all of you guys, and particularly those that are standing. If you want to find a seat.
One of these ways from Tou Ger. Being part there, Tou Ger. Ni ya itu teneng, ni share law, share zone. Thiên đừng một ba cho lên từ lò, ni những ba share đó lò. Giờ ni ban chia kiến giang kiến đó lửa từ. Là ban thiết kế hữu thiết lưu cho bé hải mong nếu như cởi tế cho ba ta xia tàn dư. I could revisit Tou Ger's long list of accomplishments, including many social justice activism cases and support in political campaigns, to his many speaking engagements across the United States. But I think it's important to remember Tou Ger for what defined and motivated him to become who he was and what he is known for. Beyond the happiness that reflected in Tou Ger's aura, I want to share about how Tou Ger represented determination, inclusion, and authenticity. Vì Tou Ger Xiong xia thao shi ga, có là một cái cho xia, cái Xiong xia, theo cái cú xia, 学到天理报，头等着论其事。Tou Ger lived his life with purpose and determination. As a chubby little boy running after his older brothers and sisters, Tou Ger wanted to be part of the action. He wanted to play the outdoor games like his older brothers played. He wanted to follow his older sisters, follow them around and do chores like his sisters and talk with them. He wanted to do the things that his older brothers and sisters did so much that when they ran off to play by the river in Nam Sum, Laos, he chased after them. Even though he was only 2 years old and his chubby little body could not move fast enough, Tou Ger's older brothers and sisters went across that bridge to the other side of the river, not knowing Tou Ger would follow them. Tou Ger kept chasing them, trying to move quickly across the bridge until he felt the pain on his feet. The soles of his bare feet were burning from the hot black asphalt bridge. That was one of the earliest examples of Tou Ger's determination. Tou Ger's determination to do more, to push himself more, to reach for more, started from those early chubby toddler days. His determination to do what he set his mind on brought him to many achievements as a child and to being valedictorian upon high school graduation. His determination brought him to help many people achieve success, as well as to drive his own many successes. Tou Ger Xiong, 我错呀哩你都学啥？要Tou Ger只知道到好你都学的，你啥道理呀？因为英我道理你都学啥？Having a sense of belonging is important to all of us. Tou Ger sought out his own belonging in any group or any place that he went to. He made it seem like it was effortless to create friendships and community. Tou Ger was the type of person who could walk into any place, not knowing a single person, look around confidently, and then find a spot to insert himself. At the end of the event, Tou Ger would have many new friends and would leave an impression on others. How did he do that so naturally? Most of us would walk into an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar people and still feel unfamiliar upon leaving. Tou Ger did this by just being himself, which means he was not trying to change himself to be included, but he was including others, no matter how similar or different. Tou Ger looked for ways to unite people, found ways to show people what they had in common, celebrated differences, and showed acceptance. His sense of inclusion created opportunities for people to be included. Tou Ger once said, "As much as we're different, we're even more similar in many ways," one of his quotes. That was the essence of inclusion that Tou Ger used to build bridges and unite communities. Tou Ger, lu za cho tu tin hình nữ chi, vì nữ yên xa có cho hai này nhớ sĩ trong rong một kề. Nữ thiên chế kề có cho, có chú kỳ lòng đã lòng đau hai này. Tou Ger was proud to be Hmong, and he embraced the cultural differences among many cultures. He spent time learning about his heritage, seeking and sharing cultural knowledge. Through the hundreds of speeches and shows that he did, he was Go Hmong boy. Tou Ger wanted others, especially Hmong youth, to embrace their Hmong identities, to feel excited to learn about different cultures, and to practice self-love. He always made time to learn about other cultures through friendships, through community events, and through travel, which he loved to do. He believed his self-identity became clearer when he valued his roots. From his trips to Laos to see how and where his mom and dad grew up, to local community events in Minnesota, including the Hmong Minnesota Day at the State Fair, to national events and conferences, Tou Ger held deeply to the roots that grounded him and proudly declared being Hmong as a part of those roots. With these declarations and actions, Tou Ger remained true to his authentic self. Tung Ger, Lu Ger Be Hai Ni Mong, Ni Mo Xie Cher Be Yon Lua, Mo Dao Ger Lao. Tung Ger Yin Beng Na Lu Shi He, Mo Dao Ger Lao Shi Ta Ho Jie Lao. Di Ya Lin Na Beng Shi He, Mo Pie Ger Lua, Ho Jie Gan Da. Yang Ni Ya I Tung Ka Dot Kyo, Dao Ger Lao, Pie Ger Lua, Ger Xiong Ger Xiong. So here we are today, trying to capture the giant character of Tou Ger, remembering the goodness that was within Tou Ger, channeling the positivity that was shining through Tou Ger. Yet there is still this empty feeling in our hearts, because Tou Ger was so much more to us than the public image that people saw. Tou Ger was so much more than the determination that drove his passions, more than the inclusive nature of his approach towards people, and more than the authenticity in his cultural identity. Tou Ger would want us to remember him beyond his public image. With others, Tou Ger could see what people needed, and then he would help fill that need for them. And when he had a need, he always knew where to fill that need. Before he left for any trip,
Good afternoon. To Tou Ger's family, on behalf of all Minnesotans, please accept our deepest and heartfelt sympathies. Tou Ger to you was a son, a brother, a brother-in-law, an uncle, a nephew. To the many friends who are here, I found that since this tragedy happened, it's very hard to find a Minnesotan who doesn't have a Tou Ger Xiong story of some kind. You don't have to walk very far and someone will tell you the story. It's been on the minds of Minnesotans now. Just coming in, Senator Hoffman mentioned that Tou Ger would show up at the golf tournament dressed as Paul Revere. So, and I didn't know this, my dear friend, Senator Fong He mentioned that for 20 years he traveled with Tou Ger on an outdoor adventure every year. All of those things to each of you are personal. All of those things are true. To Minnesotans, Tou Ger was a treasure. Tou Ger embodied what we would like to think we are, the best of what we are. Kind, empathetic, funny, patient, and determined. You heard a little bit about that. We witnessed it in public life of seeing a true champion of social justice. And it's one thing to hold those beliefs. It's another to take those beliefs into the public square and make change. And I think it's become apparent to everyone, the Hmong community is so deeply a part of who we are as Minnesota. To lose a giant like Tou Ger strikes at the heart of all Minnesotans. So please know that legacy that Tou Ger has made will continue to ripple out. I hope not just Hmong youth, but I hope all of our youth learn and continue to tell the story of Tou Ger's life. I'm grateful for the endowment that'll be moving forward to make sure that happens. And there's a story to be told here that all Minnesotans should aspire to. A kind, gentle soul who cared deeply about those around and did it with a sense of humor. And I think we could all agree we could use a little more Tou Ger in our lives. We could use a little daily lives. So on behalf of the people of Minnesota, I have the privilege and the honor to issue the official proclamation. Whereas Tou Ger Xiong was born in 1973 in Laos. He spent 4 years in a Thai refugee camp as a child before coming to the United States in 1979. Tou Ger made a massive impact with his comedy, his rap, his motivating words, and his presence. His unique way of storytelling helped thousands of people feel seen, heard, and understood. He is known for uniting individuals in the face of challenging issues and shedding light on marginalized and excluded communities. Tou Ger was active in political empowerment, racial justice, education equity, and civic engagement. He founded Hmong Day at the Minnesota State Fair as a way to celebrate the heritage of our various communities. His efforts aim to preserve Hmong history and pride for all future generations. His passion for community led him to intern at Congressman Bruce Vento's Washington office. This experience helped him to organize volunteers back home in Minnesota to elect Senator Mimoa, the first Hmong American state senator in history. Tou Ger was tragically killed in Colombia on December 11th. He was survived by his mother, 6 brothers, 4 sisters, 13 nieces, 12 nephews, 2 grandnephews, and 5.8 million Minnesotans who loved him. Following in the spirit and passion of Tou Ger, his family has set up the Tou Ger Xiong Endowment. The fund has helped establish, support his legacy, moving forward in fostering community and advancing social justice. Tou Ger will always be remembered as a beloved social justice champion, leaving a lasting impact on Minnesota and across the globe. He was a passionate community builder, cultural bridger, intergenerational connector. Tou Ger's impact on our community will never be forgotten across Minnesota. Now, therefore, I, Tim Walz, Governor of Minnesota, do hereby proclaim Saturday, January 27, 2024, as Tou Ger Xiong Day.
Following my remarks will be Senator Susan Park. 好的，就说了 Thank you everyone for being here. Being here to celebrate the life and legacy of my dearest friend and our leader, Tou Ger Xiong. Governor Tim Walz, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and many of you, we are honored that you can join us today. A special thanks to Senator Tina Smith for the help your office has given us. We have tried our best fighting against time on December 11th in hope for a different outcome. And also, I want to thank my colleague, former State Senator Patricia Torres-Ray, who have given me advice throughout the time and advised me to be effective in coordinating with the Colombian government. I also want to thank Monica, my spouse, to our Attorney General, and thank you for the words that you represent the country of Colombia. I also want to name a few folks that are here with me. Senator Hoffman, Representative Champlin, Broken Park, a friend of Tou Ger Xiong. Senator Tou Xiong, thank you for being here. And Senator Susan Pa, as I mentioned. I also spoke to my closest friend, and he was going to be here anyway, but I spoke to him last night and encouraged him to come. He's a House member, chair with me in the Legacy Arts and Culture, so Representative Young Lily, Thank you for being here among your representative, and I'm sure the representative will be guided by Representative Her after my remark. And dear friends and relatives in our community, Tou Ger Xiong is watching us with gratitude that each of you are here. We all know that Tou Ger Xiong would have been here or there for you should it be of your own misfortune. Since December 11th, many people had called me to confirm and also to seek comfort over the loss of our beloved Tou Ger Xiong. One of my nephews at the age of 30 called me and said that he became a more mature and proud individual because of this visit Tou Ger had with my family. Another person called me and said she didn't want to disturb me during time of grief, but she has to let me know that her young children, aged 10 and below, were in tears the minute the news on TV reported of Tou Ger's passing. And an elder called me and asked that we give our beloved Tou Ger Xiong an honorable celebration of life. Thank you all who work behind the scene for this beautiful celebration. These are just a few examples of how far-reach Tou Ger was in terms of multicultural and intergenerations. I'm sure all of you receive similar calls from your friends as well. Tou Ger personality, activism, performances touch many lives across the United States and beyond the Hmong community. One would say his mother gave birth to him, but he was God sent and was our inspiration. He was my dearest friend, a true friend that has been thick and thin with me as long as I know him, for over 30 years. He was an honest leader, the proudest Hmong American of our time. I am honored to be his close friend in shaping the course of our Hmong American experience, both directly and indirectly, as well as giving Minnesotans and the community at large a better understanding of our people. He was the bridge for many of us and the voice that break down barriers for all. We will miss him dearly. As his friend, I had hoped we would enjoy our golden years together. A few decades from now, in a seniors facility somewhere, and for sure, there will not be a dull moment with Tou Ger Xiong. He will be the reason that I or we wake up for, or in some respect, be woken by. And during evening hours, I'm sure we might coalesce to plan our social and civil engagement for the next generation of Hmong and for the next generation of Minnesota. Yet, my younger brother has gone too soon. His eternal spirit is now in heaven, entertaining gods and angels. Back here, he has given us a wealth of legacy and the courage to continue on fighting for fairness, equality, and justice, and to be proud as a Hmong person and upholding integrity. One may ask, had he fulfilled this vision in life, having gone too soon? The answer is yes. In fact, he surged beyond and was content to see what he had built for Minnesota and the Hmong community. Hmong American would not be where we are today without the selfless dedication of Tou Ger Xiong. And for those who love him, may God bless you. For those who love him less, please just love your children more for the next generation. After this weekend, his body will no longer be in front of us, but his name will live on in Minnesota and in the Hmong community. That in time of hardship, in transition, in time of injustice, in time of lack of cultural awareness, rising forth is a hero by the name of young son, Tou Ger Xiong, which is the meaning of his name. Young son, Tou Ger. I will miss Tou Ger Xiong, our younger brother, for his gregarious, exuberant personality, for his energy and synergy at justice rallies, his multi-talent, his work with students, and his love for our people and the state that we live in together. We will cherish his legacy and contribute to society for years to come. With permission from the City of St. Paul and our Mayor, Carter, I propose a marker to be put at Phelan Lake in his honor. It's likely that the unofficial Hmong island at the lake be referred to officially as Tou Ger Xiong Hmong Island, where he sung, played, danced, storytellings, and on the laughter humor side, he would say, "Got rice?" ? That's one of his iconic phrases. While this work is in progress, and his name will be echoed forward, Godspeed, my younger brother, Tou Ger, and go, Hmong boy, go. We'll take care of loose ends for you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today on this celebration of our life. And thank you, Tou Ger Xiong, for being part of us. Tou Ger Xiong, Tou Ger ya be tu thơ cho rong, ni tu thơ này, nhớ chú sinh mình sẽ tàn nó. Em bị cứ Tou Ger, nhớ cái tu mua bình sự, mua dễ mua rong cho bên mong, người cho bên mong mình cả luôn nên dễ đi có chỗ, lấy cơn gạo, luôn nó thâu là, giờ bây giờ ông bảo lấy cha, là yêu chạy chỉ tao. Nu cứ cảnh đạo luôn rồi, mong đạo yang bị hạ rồi này,แต่ชีnu nó yêu chi nu cơ, bị thẳng rồi luôn này, giờ chỉ nu nó mong, bây giờ chỉ phụ Tou Ger tỉnh chết tỉnh mò, là những con muốn về, yêu nhau cũng mong kinh cử. Anh nhớ chú lúc sinh, cái sản nó lại kinh cử, trốn đông đảo xong rồi yang tăng đề. Bây giờ hạ dùng thì ràng hơn trốn. Bây giờ sáng dùng thì lúc bệnh sự. Cho lúc cho lũ sơ kéo nên cho tôi cho kỹ cho yang toàn đề cái bộ tăng của tôi hà ôn loạn kỹ là uyên tàu thơ mỗi lúc bỏ chữ như chỉ phải những lệ nhà sang ý sai lòng lụt tì trở lại tuôn ra lúc bé vì lý do tôi cứ một trang trí cho bé chia sẻ người ta nó cho bé mong nó chỉ ôi tôi mong bán chỗ để hành nên bán chỗ sinh người ta cho lúc chẳng thơ lo cho chỉ dùng nhau cho lúc để cho nóแล้วฉันต้องจะช่วยโต我ฉันต้องจะไม่เกลูจริงๆเราต้องคงไปขอ resolution รุ่นยังมีจีเด็กเกจโจเสนอสุสัมภาษณ์พาไปดู